find triple dot creation. So that's for that. So we're going to our next session, and I'll be talking about something that is very, very important, something that we always overlook. Something that we always overlook, and it might, if we're not prepared, we might, phase off if we're not prepared for this, phase of life, and that's the era of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. If you look at our current dispensation, you realize that machine has almost taken over everything. If you look at the school system, you see that most teachers don't do the whole calculation again. The results are done by computers. You go to our banking industries. Are you aware that there are ATMs that collect cash? Then we'll have the ones that dispense cash. As at 2009, there was nothing like that in, as I said, 2008, 2009. It was not here. We couldn't find such things here, but currently now, ATM is like out there everywhere. Okay? So, which means that people don't need to go to the bank to go do what? Get cash. They now rely on what? The ATM. Hope I'm right. Now, the bad part is that as at then, there were people that dispense cash. Hope I'm right. People that were at the counter that still give cash. Which means the moment they employed these machines, they sacked those people. Right? As at, let's say, 1980 something, when you're shooting a movie, you need what? This helicopter and a camera. But now we have drone cameras. So which means those helicopter pilots and the cameramen, they are gone. So that's the reason why we need to renew our skills. So we're talking about artificial intelligence. Sometimes we call it machine learning, which means we're trying to make the computer behave like humans. And we're going to look deep into this and ask ourselves, will this thing be relevant? Okay? Will this be relevant? So, the next slide, please. Next one. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Now, there are three things that AI is broken down into three distinct levels. Now, I'll be using AI as the acronym for artificial intelligence. We have the one we call artificial neural intelligence. And this can only operate in one sphere. That is like a chess player, or like an ATM machine. It just has one job to do. Do you understand? Then we'll have the one we call artificial general intelligence. This one reaches and passes the intelligence level of human. It can plan, it can solve problems, it can think abstractly, it can comprehend ideas, and it can learn what? Quickly. Let's imagine this scenario that you have we have seats here, right? Let's assume that we have what? Like seats, empty seats. This machine can count all the seats, tell you how many that we have, then tell you how many persons that can stay here, tell you how long they can stay. Do you understand? It can reason like humans. Now, the last one is the artificial super intelligence. It is significantly smarter than the best human brain in nearly everywhere, including creativity, general wisdom, and an ability to develop social skill. Now, let me take us back to the 15th century. I want you guys to get this point clearly. As at 15 something, we all had this mindset that strength came from willpower, like how strong you are, how able-bodied you are. Do you understand? That was why, as at then, we needed what? Warriors. Do you understand? That's why you see that a country needed, like, let's say, a large amount of army to fight. Strength was a product of physical strength. Do you get what I'm saying? But as time went on, we now moved into the industrial age when we started making use of machines. Do you understand? Tractors. Initially, before, in those days, for them to call you a strong man, you need to know how to farm with hoe and cutlass. Do you understand? That's what determined how strong you are. But now we have tractors, right? We have machines. So what I'm saying is, in essence, that things have been improving and things have been changing. Now, currently, we are in the dispensation of computers, which means if you know how to, if you have these digital skills, all these soft skills, if you can automate things, you are okay. They take you as the best. That's why you see that the guys on Facebook, Elon, and the rest of them are doing crazy stuff. But what do we have in the future? Now, the truth of the matter is that the machines are going to take over these things now. Do you understand what I'm saying? The machines are going to take over these things. So they will do all those things that we have been doing. All the codes, all the thinking, all the complex thinking and all that will be taken over by the machines. Now, what are we going to be doing? And the most important thing is the skills. What will be the relevant skill? Because personally, I always try to look at, like in the beginning of the year, I always try to look at, okay, what are going to trend this year? Do you know what I'm saying? Relevant things. What skills am I meant to acquire? Actually, I realized of recent that what matters the most is really the soft skills. Do you understand what I'm saying? Those little skills are the most important part. But let me still go back to AI. Now, we know that in the future, it will be more of what? Artificial intelligence. I actually made research and realized that Samsung have been developing some crazy products. Now, imagine you staying in a house that has a smart fridge. And that smart fridge, you can use from your fridge, you can start your car. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, someone gave an example yesterday where he said that his friend, when he's on the way, he talks to the microwave to warm the soup against, like once he gets back home, he'll just pick the soup and eat. This is artificial intelligence. And that's the era we're going to, which means very soon I won't need a cook because there are machines that are doing the job. Are you aware that very soon now you won't need a driver? So all those people that call themselves drivers now, that's my skill, that I'm a driver, or let's say I'm a truck driver, those jobs are going to be taken over by machines. That's why what they did now present is that they started with this era of mapping. That's why Google has taken their time to map. They are busy mapping the whole place, including your village. Do you understand? Do you know why they are doing that? Before you introduce something, are you guys familiar with what we call the law of first knowledge? Hello? Have you heard that, the law of first knowledge? Now let me just chip this thing in. Imagine if you, as at 1960, listen to me, let's go back to 1960. You tell someone that you want to build Facebook on the internet. Will the person understand it? I don't know if I get what I'm saying. The person cannot understand it, because the first question the person asks is, what is internet? Do you get it? So now these guys are getting ready for the machines. That's why they have started mapping the roads. Do you get what I'm saying? Introducing the first knowledge to the machines, so that once they start learning, because AI can be called machine learning. So in a literal way, it's like a machine trying to learn what humans do. It's like picking up a dog and doing what? Teaching that dog how to eat, where to go and poo and all that. So that's what the machines are doing. So currently now, they are preparing the machines for the future. Now, how are we preparing our own selves? What are we doing? Are we sitting down pressing our phones or trying to check the latest artists that release the latest song and all that. What are we doing? Are we busy chatting someone, hoping that the person will love us today or tomorrow? Do you understand what I'm saying? And it is something that we need to think about. Someone said that an educated person in our generation is someone that is ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn, which means you pick up something new, and when that thing expires, you unlearn it and learn a new thing. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Because if you don't do that, you just stay at a place, and when you see your mates progressing, you start antagonizing them. Because most of the times when you hate people, it's just a product of, the fact that they have upgraded and you're still stuck at a place. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, the essence of this is for us to talk about AI and see how people are now introducing it, and now ask ourselves and tell ourselves, okay, how can we work on ourselves to do what? To be better people, to be better service providers, so that we won't be irrelevant in future. All right, so next slide, please. Now, computer science defines AI research as a study of intelligent agents, any device that perceives its environment and takes actions that maximizes its chance of successfully achieving its goal. So it's an AI bot or artificial intelligent machines are conscious of their environment. Okay? Now, I know you guys have seen this, and it sounds so funny, but when you're walking to the mall, you notice that the door opens, right? Yes or no? It just opens by itself. What drives that? It's a sensor that handles it, right? You know that that's the sensor that they're using in making all these self-driven cars. I'm still going to explain it later. Do you get? So which means the sensor is conscious of the environment and reacts based on what? The environmental factor, which means when someone is coming closer, it recognizes what? That someone is close by and does what? Pats the door. So, and let's go back to a more elaborate definition. It's called a system's ability to correctly interpret external data. Now, interpret external data to learn from such data. So what it does is that it interprets what? An external what? Data. Let's put it this way. You get the data of people that have HIV and AIDS within the space of 3 years. I hear what I'm saying. Within the space of 3 years, you realize that the rate at which people are getting HIV and AIDS, maybe the rate is like increasing by 3%. Do you get? Now, AI can tell you that with AI, it can tell you that within the next 10 years, we can have this amount of data based on the rate at which it is doing what? Increasing on its own. So what it does first is that it interprets external data, learn from such data, and to use those learnings to achieve specific goals and tasks through flexible. Now that's the key word. Flexible what? Interpretation. When something is flexible, which means it can switch. Do you get what I'm saying? It can think critically, analyze data, and tell, okay, this can happen in the next what? 10 years. That's why they will tell you that Nigeria, that we have 2 point something. Okay, let me use our population strength. Now, they will tell you that Nigeria we are about 180 million, right? 180 million. They tell you that in the next 10 years, we might be up to, 250 million. Now, that's the work of AI. It can pick an external data that is not in it. Now, understand something about programming. You realize that when you're building, you build stuff and still store data, right? Now, it can just get data externally, analyze it, and tell you, okay, this is what, or give you a better inference. So that's how AI works. That's what machine learning is. That is like a machine trying to do what? Learn. Next slide, please. So now, this is a big question. Can machine think? Can machine think? This is very. Someone asked this question, Alan, in 1950. can mesh, which means they started thinking about this as at how many years ago? What is Nigeria thinking about? Are you aware that it's a mistake of our parents made, or let me say our elders made very huge mistake. They made a very huge mistake because if they had planned this country properly, none of them thought about the next future. That's why you see Lagos is overpopulated. Do you get? Because nobody said, okay, what if, because if you look at how people are migrating to Lagos, for instance, you tell yourself that, okay, people are coming to this city on a daily basis. This is the statistics of people that enter this city every day. Can we make plans for housing, good roads? You know the kind of traffic you see there? Which means we, in this country, we're not even making plans for the future. Instead, we're busy embezzling funds. Now, but someone out there was thinking about the future and asking, can machines think? As at then, trust me, we didn't have supercomputers. I hope you're aware. This was actually the second generation of computer. That was the era of second generation when computers were running on vacuum tubes. They were as big as what I don't know. And someone was asking, can machine do what? Think. So let's see. Well, it might be possible for the machine to replicate some of the process and output of human mind, but it is likely to fail. That is it differs from the mind. Now, if you heard me well, I say that machines are going to come. Listen to me. They are going to come to do what? Take over our jobs, right? But there are some skills that we will need. I don't forget what I'm saying. There are some things that we need. Now, that's the part I've not talked about. They are going to come, but there's something missing. There's something missing that machine cannot do. Now, this movie I was watching, I don't know if you guys have seen it, Big Bang Theory. It got to a point when Sheldon was like, I want to transform that he's tired of this world, and he feels that his body is too delicate. So he had to develop a small robot that has a camera. Do you understand? So wherever he's going, the robot will be going there while he's in his house controlling the robot. So if you need his assistance, you can speak to him through the robot. Then it was until they discover a way to transfer his own human consciousness to machines. That's when he will now come out. I don't know if I get what I'm saying. Now, which means there's something missing in as much as AI is going to be very, very relevant in the future. There's something missing. Now, in the event of a novel on system, therefore machines may never be able to think like humans until and unless we completely understand. Now, the problem is that we have not really understood how we think. We say that humans will make use of 10% of our brain capacity, right? So until we understand how humans think, that's now when we say, that's when we can now sum up that conclusion. Because the more we renew our mind, the more we think, the more we discover who we are as humans, the more we create machines to act the way we do. I don't know if I get what I'm saying. Good. Next slide. Now, there's something, I don't know, I've heard of Lady Lovelace. Has anybody heard about, do you know Lady Lovelace? Actually, I told you guys that, I think I said it, that was yesterday, I've been saying this, that the first set of programmers were women. They were actually called computers. The word computers were women that did the computing jobs. Do you understand? Until Lady Lovelace now said, I think we need to automate these mathematical calculations. Do you understand? That was now how they now developed a structure, a program that can just do the job while they sit down. Now, those ladies now became the first set of programmers. The same way we have ladies. The ladies are the first set that started making hair. Now guys are taking over it. That's the same way men came and took over the programming thing. So he says, actually she was like against it. She said machines lack originality. They can never do anything really new. That was what she was saying. She said humans have originality and can do new things. Machines can't think the same way as humans think. Let's keep going. Next slide. Now, But before then, let me just go back. Let me talk extensively about that. Now, this was her own words, assumptions. Do you get? The first thing she said, machine lack originality, which means humans that they can never do something new. But right now, they are doing crazy stuff. That's why we now have machine what? Learning. Like they learn and now start doing things based on what they learned. I don't know if I get what I'm saying. Like, I can decide now, someone can decide now to create a bot. I was seeing, actually, as at last night, I was watching this movie, Silicon Valley, and they stay in a tech, like, they work in a tech company, and there's this guy called Guilford. So what he did was that he has this friend of his, he's his best friend, but they're always quarreling in the company. So he created these chats. They have this company chat, like have Slack. I hope you guys know about Slack, right? So the way they have Slack, so they work with Slack. So each time Dinesh is chatting Guilford, he will just, we call this chatbots the build now. Even GT Bank has it. The moment you go to GT Bank site and you try to make inquiries, they will tell you what to do, how to do it. It's not a human being. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a machine. Do you get what I'm saying? They will tell you how to do it, what to do, like give you the exact direction and tell you thank you. Even if you ask another question, the machine will interpret it and still answer you based on what you did, asked. So which means there is originality. Because the more we humans learn and get to understand ourselves, we develop machines that think and act like what? Us. So if our brain capacity is 10%, are you hearing me? Machines capacity will be around 7.5 to 8%. So now, what's the time, please? Wow. So let me just see if I can wrap things up. Next slide. Now, application of artificial intelligence in use today. Now, maybe we don't, but as I think I've made mention, talked about it, but like there are a lot of crazy innovations right now that we want us to explore and see how it works. So the next one is Siri. How many of you have heard of Siri? Siri is used by, that's iPhone's what? Siri is a pseudo-intelligent digital personal assistant. She uses machine learning technology to get smarter and better, able to predict and understand our natural language questions and requests. Now, natural language question. Now, if you look at Siri, for those that use Apple products, you realize that it picks your voice and stores it. So if I come to your phone now and try, using Siri, it won't accept my own voice. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's the beautiful part. And Siri, can you add Monday to my to-do list? I will be heading to this place on Monday. Like, you see, I'm explaining it like a normal human being. Do you get? Telling the person, like, you write, saying like a lot of instructions. Siri will just gather this external information, arrange it, and place it in your calendar. Do you get what I'm saying? Siri, who is my girlfriend? You do not have a girlfriend. Do you want me to add one? Do you get what I'm saying? All right, add this person. Siri will add the person. Siri, call my girlfriend. Siri, I don't know if I'm saying. That's how smart Siri is. Get any restaurant here. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like a personal assistant. It does all your bookings. Siri will do the. This one is next slide, please. We have Alexa. Actually, Siri was the Siri is owned by Apple. Okay. Now Alexa is Amazon's product. It's like, imagine, the way you guys have speakers, right? Those small Bluetooth speakers. Amazon didn't know what to, like. They just looked at the product and was like, okay, let's sell speakers with AI. So when you drop that speaker, you now say, Alexa, what's the weather like today? Alexa will tell you what the weather will be from morning to night, and the next thing you guys like, Alexa, can you check the traffic? They will trace. Now, what has speaker got to do with AI? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now that's the beautiful part about Alexa. So it just stays, it checks your traffic. Maybe like if I'm heading to Maduka, I might like check and ask Alexa, how is the traffic like? Alexa will give me my report. Now let's go to to another advanced one. Next slide, Tesla. How many of you have heard of Tesla? If you have heard of Tesla. The beautiful thing about Tesla is that they are developing some crazy, like they're actually doing something crazy with artificial intelligence. Initially, it was actually on when you're on the plane, you can use this what they call it. You can just leave your plane and you just keep flying. There's something they call it. So autopilot, right? Good. That's what they do. But now, Tesla now moves. Probably, I told you that the first thing Google did was to map the road, right? Now, on the roads, you have when you have like, let's say this is like three lanes, right? Now they have those lines now, right? Demarcating them. Now, they have done this thing in such a way that since Google can track, now the next thing is that the to another lane, depending, and even I don't know about overtaking, but I'm sure that they can. Do you get without you? And when you're on traffic and the car stops in front, it stops like within a far distance to make sure that in case of any accident, I don't affect. The three major examples I want you guys to about because of our time, I would like to sum things up. Now, my point is AI is coming, and we need to prepare ourselves. We need to make sure that whatever we're doing, whatever we are learning, whatever skill we're learning, we have to make sure that these skills are making us relevant. I don't know if you guys have observed this. Sometimes you chat with your friends and tell them, okay, I want to buy iPhone 2, or sorry, iPhone 6 or iPhone 11, as the case may be, or I want to do this one or do that one, or maybe I want to, like recently, as that last week, I was talking to my friend. I was like, I want to get a Raspberry Pi. Okay, I want to get what? A Raspberry Pi. That's what I said. The moment I entered Facebook, I started seeing adverts on Raspberry Pi. If I enter Google, adverts on a Raspberry Pi. Like, I was just seeing everywhere, just Raspberry Pi. I was like, what the heck? Now, what do they do? That's why I always say this, that apps are not really the most important. Developing apps are not the most important. The most important thing in all these things we are doing is just the data. They pick the data, analyze it. Now, what if they just pick the data, analyze it? Okay, in this particular guy's phone, what he wants is what? Raspberry Pi. Now they'll go and fetch adverts. What channel? The other speaker talked about marketing. We tell you that Facebook will invite you to go do what? Come and meet your family, have you? Now what they do is they know that you'll be talking family business there. Do you get what I'm saying? Now they will now pick those keywords and make sure they channel advert based on your interest. Now, interest has gone beyond writing it on your Facebook or writing it on your profile. I love, they say, what are you interested in, men or women, right? Or they'll say they like, you like sports. They start, interest has gone beyond those things you put on your profile. Now it's now going towards your conversations, what you talk about. Now, this AI picks the data and analyze it and channel products, channel services that talks about your own interest. So how can we make use of this? How can we build this? We have to make sure that we develop skills. And what are these skills? One is critical thinking. I don't want to come to the area of coding. Okay? Let's leave program. Now, how can critical thinking. Machines are doing your job. Can I control this machine? Thank you very much.
All right, that was a nice one from him on artificial intelligence. I'm sure you all learned something, right? You all learned. Add to what he. So let's give it a moment to speak to us still on artificial intelligence.
First day I read about AI, I was scared. I was so afraid. But after a while, I adapted to it and I started working on the future. One day I woke up to my auntie who works in a hospital. What she does is the hospital she works with attends to federal staffs. If you're a police, whatever in Aba. Then I told her, I asked her, what do you do? She said her job is to, if a patient comes from any of the organization, any federal organization, or whether a private company, she collects whatever code, confirms with your organization, then gives you a permission to go and meet the doctor. And I told her, do you know I can take a job from you? And she was looking at me. And I told her I can write an automated system that will just, once you come, you type your code, it will make a request to your company, confirm it, and then issue whatever you will take to the doctor. And that is it. But that is by the way. He took time to give you examples of this AI. I want to give you one smart example you have been seeing, but you don't know it is AI. Or maybe you know somehow. And one of it is, I'm going to use social media. Facebook, Twitter, Google. God Jesus. A time is coming when they will tell you what to eat. You order for burger. Google, whatever shop you're buying from will tell you you're not healthy to eat burger. Because they have been storing your data. Google's target, their goal is, have you read about Google? Oh, you have not. Google's goal is to get centralized data. And they are strongly competing with Facebook. And that is why Facebook bought WhatsApp. They are giving you WhatsApp for free, for God's sake. Abroad, people pay for it. We are getting it free here. And they bought Instagram too. They are just, and they've united it in one account. So you can use Facebook account to run Instagram, and very soon you use that same account to run WhatsApp. Very soon. For now, you're still using your contact. Very soon, they will have a way to make you still use one same account to run everything. And you can still use Facebook to run our product. But that's by the way. What I'm trying to say is, have you ever logged into Facebook and you find out what they show you, your suggestions? If you're a male, and let's say you like following in Twitter or Facebook, you like adding female friends. When Facebook wants to give you suggestion, they will give you female friends. They won't give you a male friend. Just go home and check it. Just go home and check it. When they will give you suggestion, they will give you female friends. More, 90% of female friends, and then 10% of male, or even less. And that is one of the ways. Give it a thought.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Okay, another question.
Good day, everybody. This AI that we are talking about, recently look at myself. I was like, what will it be in the next 10, 20 to 30 years from now? Because as sad as it is, we don't want to admit it. This thing is coming. It's coming. Okay, so others are saying is Antichrist. Well, it's okay. But as much as it is coming, the negativity is also coming. The negativity is also coming. And that negativity is a problem that we will be seeking to solve. Now, they hacked Twitter the other time. Okay? Now, imagine if we start, okay, recently they started putting robots in our airports. Yeah? Now, imagine if, and hackers are getting mad now. If you know hacking, learn it well. It's not a bad skill. Ethical hacking is not bad. Isn't it? So imagine if these people can hack our data and make money out of it. So recently I was like, Ken, no. Like, as far as this world is concerned, this Africa, in fact, this country is about 100 years behind. Let's just admit it. So, more than. so to help myself, I told my boss, okay, I need to go into AI. And he was like, well, it's going to be hard though. I told him, okay, so where would I start? So he guided me. So currently I'm learning Python, and man, is Python. So it is very discouraging. Let me just tell you that. It's very discouraging. But why are we doing all this? We are preparing for the future. And the reason for TechFlock', let us not forget, is to inspire. So that at the end of you coming here, you go home, you sit down.
We usually say, I can tell you a joke or something, we can play a game. So I say, oh yeah, tell me a joke. It will just say a random joke from the internet and it will laugh like a laughing sound. So it's expecting I laugh with it too. So if I say, let's play games, it's going to, no, you can try it on your phone if you have, everybody have Google on your phone, so you can try it. So yes, you can try it. Just say, hey Google, or make sure you enable the voice recognition. You see that we already live with it. So if you don't start tuning to the tech itself, we'll run past. That's like what we are here for. Okay, so that's the last for this event today. So I've learned a lot, and why we put it so we can bring who are not in the tech field to have the vibe for the tech stuff. So to get inspired to want to be in the tech, because virtually everything is going digital. Global digitalization. So everything right now is shifting to tech. There's nothing, even medical field. There's a machine, I think it's called, I've forgotten the name. Yeah, so it just tell it what it tells you how what you're suffering from, and it prescribes a drug that you take. The normal human consultant is almost phasing out. All right, so come to the end of today's event. Please, this is a tech hub here in, and it's a home body that is in tech. So we are open to all of you. We have a number of web development, web hosting, application development. So we train for people that want to learn, and we have a co-working space for people that have jobs to do but then don't have a space. So this whole place, it was just taken off because of the event. So this whole place is a co-working space. So you can always come in and you have a space to work. All right. So I'm sure you're all glad to be here today, right? Okay. We officially to the end of this event. And so we are going to continue with interested, and yeah, that's true. We have some more airtime to win. So this network, huh? Glow. It's Glow. Did anybody get that Glow? All right, Glow now. Glow. 846 9215 9833 0589. Anyone? Anyone? Tell me comic. Did I come? Okay. Nine mobile now. Nine mobile. Nine mobile. 9755 0912 3896 294 9755 0912 96 294. Anybody? Nobody? Who? You got it? Oh, okay. Someone got it. For now. Ethel now, Ethel. Nobody is in Ethel. 08 79 79 1668 8444 10 0879 1668 8444 1130. I pity someone that is watching on Facebook might have taken it. Oh, you got it. Okay. All right. That's all. Okay. Let me call it again. This is the last time. Are you the only one using glue? Any other person? You're using. No one using glue. Okay, so the last time now. The last. 846 9215 933 1586. Did you get it? Then let's leave it. Okay, so it's time now. Just go around and know more today. It's